Hello, my friends. Callie Carroll here, Fit Coach, and I want to specifically talk to you guys about your motivation. I get this question a lot from my clients. How do I stay motivated? And honestly, it is one of my hardest questions to answer because for me to figure out each person's level and type of motivation is very challenging. It's so unique for every person to figure out why and when and what you're willing to go after, because the truth is you've created a standard in your life, right? You have a certain standard of health that you've adhered to since you were little, and maybe it's changed throughout life depending on if you went through being an athlete or had kids or whatever, but you have this certain standard of types of foods that you eat, of whether you exercise or not, of do you eat out or not, of do you take care of your mindset or not. And it's kind of just who you are at this point. And you can raise your standards and you can change your standards, but you have to personally want to do that. And if it were easy, truthfully, if motivation was a thing that just happened for everybody, you would walk around and 70% of the people of the US would not be overweight and obese. We wouldn't have a 33% obese, overweight, and we wouldn't have a 33% obese ratio, right? So it is a challenge. It's absolutely a challenge. And unfortunately, it's something that you have to figure out for yourself. There's different ways, and each one of you guys are motivated in different ways. Most people, I will tell you, are extrinsically motivated, meaning they're motivated by outside sources. It doesn't come from within. I've encountered very few people who have an extreme high level of intrinsic motivation. And intrinsic would mean that you decide, and it's all like you don't even need the outside support. You just go after it because you're so driven to make something happen. All right. And if you are intrinsically motivated, that's usually some of the best results that you're going to get. But for me to create intrinsic motivation within you, that's not possible. That would be extrinsic motivation. Does that make sense? So looking at how do I keep going? How do I find that in me? Number one, I would say, you guys, you want to find a community that supports you, that you don't give up on and they don't give up on you. And let me explain that for a second. I mean, finding a group that you're going to actively decide to be a part of. And the number one important thing is that you decide to be a part of it, because they can't run after you when you start running. You're never going to get results if somebody's chasing you down for results. A perfect example is in my groups, okay, that we want you to check in every single day. We want you to be there. We want you to support one another. We want you to comment on each other's stuff. We want you to talk about a workout, talk about a success of the day, talk about a challenge you had. And when you're doing that, when you're active in the group, you're supporting everybody else. But the day that you decide I'm having a bad day and you turn your back and you go the other direction and you don't check in, you can't have these other guys chasing you down, running after you, saying, but you wanted to, but you said, because that's not going to last. It's just not. If somebody has to chase down your results, they're not going to be permanent for you. So they can be there to support you, but you have to show up. And if you're not willing to show up, maybe you're not wanting to do it. Maybe your standard, take a look at your standards again. Like really, if you're not willing to show up to this, then you need to take a hard look at it and be like, okay, then if I'm not willing to do this, I'm saying that I am willing to, and my standard is to be 20 pounds overweight, to be unhappy when I put on my clothes, to be frustrated, do I tuck my stomach in or out, to have low energy throughout the day, whatever it is. I don't know what your situation is. I'm just making it up, right? So if that's the case, you want to keep reviewing that. Look at that. This is my life. This is what I've created. Here's what I'm running after. Do I really want to run? And you have to pick that. So the closer that you can be tied to where you're at and where you want to go, the better results you're going to get. Because if you can really, and I encourage you to do this, when you're starting your program or maybe restarting your program, write why you're doing it. And not because I want to lose 10 pounds or I have a wedding that I'm going to this summer, right? Those are great things. But like, really, why are you doing it? How is it going to impact your life? If you lose 50 pounds, what is that going to change in your life? Is your self-confidence going to change? Will that change your relationships? Will that change your finances? Will that change your happiness? Will that change your career? Will that change your expectations for your life? If you can't fit in the seat in a plane to be able to travel, and you're going after a program where you'll actually be able to travel because you could fit there, what would that do for your life? right? There's so many different types of examples depending on what you have going on. What would it be like in your life if you didn't have to get up every morning and shame yourself for not fitting into your clothes? Because when you start off every day by looking in the mirror thinking, ugh, like I can't believe that I have to start the day off figuring out if I can wedge myself into those pants again, right? That doesn't start off a very good, emotionally happy, confident day, does it? It kickstarts your day in a negative mood. What would it be like if you didn't have to start your day like that? You see how it's not just about 10 pounds. That's not really what it's about at all. It's about finding a lifestyle where you feel freaking happy, jacked up, confident, and amazing. So identify first, what do I really feel like right now? Right? And sometimes you don't even know how crappy you feel until you feel good. So when you're looking at what your goal is, find your community group that's going to support you, that you're going to show up to. They're not going to chase you. Don't ask a coach. By the way, never ask somebody to chase you. If you want to be my client and you're like, I need somebody who's going to check in with me every day, I am not your person. Like, I am not going to drag somebody down the road of let's get healthy together. Like, I will walk with you. I will take every step you take, but I am not going to drag you along the way. That expectation is one of complete failure at the end of the game. And I don't want to drag somebody up the hill just for them to roll right back down like Jack and Jill afterwards. Not my gig. Okay. You guys see how that would happen? So if you're looking for somebody to do that, you're probably not ready yet. Or you haven't decided, you haven't connected with how crappy you feel right now and how glorious you could feel. So connect. Where are you at right now? And what would it be like to be on the other side? And really visualize and think about what would that be like. And don't create expectations of, it could kind of work. Like what would really your ideal expectation be? And what would that feel like? And when you do that and you look at that, like some of our tools that we use is we find a body type. Maybe it's your body type. Maybe it's somebody else's online. Like that would make me feel confident. Feeling like that would make me feel confident. Having her energy would make me feel confident. Being able to run that 5K like that guy just did, that would make me feel confident. And get connected to those goals. Okay, so now you have a community group. You've identified where you're at, where you're going, right? And then make some commitments. Seriously, commit yourself, put your ass on the line that you're going to do this. And for each one of us, that's different again, right? That could be some people enjoy financial commitments, right? And because you put your finances in your line, you're like, I am an idiot if I invest $800 into this and I don't do that. That's why people buy huge personal training packages. They buy annual memberships in gyms. And you know what? People love that because you guys don't finish. They're like, this person gave me all this money. They never finish, and it's money in my pocket for them never even finishing something. I hate that. I really do. But if you're if you need to financially commit, then what you want to do is you want to invest big, and then make sure that you utilize it. I've had people literally give me, I'm going to pay you $500 and I pay them back $50 a month if they lose their weight, if they stick to their program, if they do what they're supposed to do. And if they don't, they lose the money. It could be that financial, it could be that type of commitment, right? It could be a commitment of a timeline. You've got a wedding, you've got a function, you bought a dress, our photo shoots that we do, our photo shoots, huge motivation, right? You know that there's a photo shoot coming up in fill in the blank here, April. I want to be a part of that. You'll work harder knowing that you're running after being a part of something, being a part of an experience, an event, a vacation, the photo shoot, whatever it is, right? That could be a different level of commitment. But truthfully, at the end of the day, you guys, here's what it is. Your motivation is different than my motivation. The way that I'm motivated, I'll tell you personally, is that I don't like feeling like crap. That's it. I don't like having low confidence. I didn't wear shorts for years of my life because I felt like my legs were disgusting. And I felt I was down on myself every single day. I spent emotional energy bashing myself about how I was not doing things good enough and how I didn't feel good and I didn't feel confident. And I'm not willing to be that person. So my level of motivation is pretty intrinsic of I don't want to ever feel like that again. And I don't want other people to have to feel like that, which is why I do what I do now. This is why I coach. This is why I help people, because giving them the tools, at least they know how to get results. All they have to figure out is how to make sure that they get with their lifestyle and create this new level of lifestyle where it doesn't necessarily have to be about I've got to be so perfect and so motivated every day. It's, I have a new lifestyle. This is just what I do. I just work out. I just eat healthier. I have this for breakfast. That's the way that it'll get down to it. So you guys, when you look at your motivation, sit back after this video and take a couple minutes and think about it. How do you feel now? How do you really want to feel? Where can you put those goals, that motivation in front of you? How can you invest in yourself? And it's got to be a new standard, because like I said in my other videos, wants don't get met. Standards do. And if you raise your standard for your health, you will absolutely achieve it. But if you're just dabbling in wants, maybe I will, maybe I won't, don't have much expectations with that until you make the decision. Okay, guys? So I hope that helps, right? It's like, okay, it's like slap in the face, Cal. But I hope that you guys decide to take action, raise your standards. Callie Carroll, Fit Coach, right? So if you guys are on this video, like below, maybe give me a comment, something that's worked for you, right? I would love to see. And obviously you can share as well. And then if you're needing personal help with any of your journeys, we've got a lot of groups. We've got our Project Me, we've got our Right Fit community. So reach out. We can hook you up with any of those things so you have more support going into this. Know the tools, and you can find your own internal motivation. So love y'all. Thank you so much. Bye.